Okay, so this is gonna be a lesson on Stairway to Heaven, obviously. Let's look at the beginning here. We're gonna have like a more difficult version we're gonna look at later where we add some things like these extra bass notes. And little riffs from the live show even. But we're gonna start out with the very simple version. So basically we have this A minor chord. We have the fives down here in the bottom three strings. Now, if you're having trouble kind of making that chord, getting that finger to reach around so tall up there, you could always just kind of play that string and then kind of move on to the other ones to make it a little easier. But if you can hold it, it makes it sound a lot bigger. And like I say, eventually we have moving bass notes on the bottom that make it sound way bigger. But the very easiest version would be 7 and then kind of move to those fives. And then we're gonna go. So that was 7, 5, 5, 7. That's going like from the little string, kind of moving up a little bit. And then we're gonna go to the 8 here and do that same picking. Then we're gonna go to a D chord. So same picking on each of those. This one goes up from like low note to high note, and then the rest of them go down from high note to low note. And then we're gonna go 2, 1 and open. And that's actually part of a F major 7 chord. We'll look at that bass later on in the lesson, but for now it's just kind of open 1 and 2. So that goes string 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna go these 3 open notes of a G chord back into the 2, 2, 1 of an A minor. Okay, so once again, 7, 8, down to D, and then open 1 and 2, G, A minor twice. And then we're gonna have this little thing, little slidey riff there. So that's 2 on the G string. And then slide your middle finger, I would suggest, into the 6, so you can hit that 5 after that with the first finger. And then we're back to that first part. And then we're gonna move into this new part. So that's gonna be a C chord, but we're starting with this A note here. It's a little bass walk, A, B, C. So that's the second fret of the G string to the open B string. And then we're starting a C chord here. So we could get into our C shape there, but we're gonna start on that one fret. So what I did there was second string, and then fourth string, third string, first string. So we end up doing all the notes of the C, but in a little different order. Then we're gonna go to a D. And you could just do this, but that's going to be one later if you wanted to add that bass note. It's not too difficult. And that's your F major 7, 3, 2, 1, open. You could just go without worrying about the bass note. So that part would be that walk-up thing. The easy version. Hammer on, second string, 0 to 1, and then that walk up again, 2, 0, 1. Then we're gonna go to G. So that was little string, going down and then back to the top one. Now we're gonna need to make a D shape, but we're gonna have, because we're gonna pull this note off. So we had that G from the G chord. Pull off to the second string and then strum the D chord. So here's all that again. Let me walk through again. this time, we're gonna go straight up a D. And then F major 7, strum, strum, strum. So let's go through all that whole new part, the walk up, 201. To the D, to F major 7, and then A minor. That's basically what those are, walk up. Now this time, G, and pull off riff to the D. All the way up to D, F major 7. Okay, then we're back to another verse. Okay, now this next one is going to be an instrumental type of verse, so he's going to do a little different. Has a little bounce to it. You can do that a couple different ways. So we're gonna go. When we get to the 7 down here. So that was string 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Go up to the 8. Down to the D. Now here on this next one you can go like. Or I suppose you could go like. Bunch of different ways to do that one. I would probably stick with that same thing of strings 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. That just goes twice on that one. Okay, so then we're two-part. Hit a G chord there, and then we're gonna get to this A minor 7 thing with a 2 open 1 and a 3 on the bottom here. So you got down, down, up, down, down, and then lift that 3 out and do one more strum. And then we're doing this D sus where we have a D with the pinky on the bottom. So kind of just D sus down to the D and strum the D for a bit. Back to that open. Now we have a new thing up here. This is 7 and 8 and 9. That's part of an E minor chord. And then 7, 5, 7, 7, part of a D chord. 3, 5, 5, part of a C chord. So E minor, D, C, D. Back to the A minor 7. D sus to D. A minor 7. And then these higher chords, E minor, D, C, D. So here we're gonna have a slightly different thing taking us into the new type of verse. Still has the walk up, but instead of going to that high string, we're gonna go. So that was our walk up 201, and then I'm going 201. Then we're gonna go open on the second string. So strings 2, 3, 4, 2. And then we're going to go to an A minor chord. So that was string 3, 4, 3, 1, and then a little hammer on the second string. Open to 1, goes back to that 2 on the third string. And then. So that's how we started out that last part. 201, 201, open, 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 A minor. Major 7 to A minor. So that new part there. So let's take that nice and slow. So 201, 201. Then we're going to the opens like a G chord. And then to an A minor. Little hammer, walk up again to the opens, that time we only get 3 notes into it. We got to come in quick with that F major 7. Only 1 hit on that A minor. So up to speed, that's kind of like. Walk up. That little walk up this time takes us back into that A minor 7. So D sus D. Remember that little open higher chords. Again, that's a E minor 987, D 775. C 553. So E minor, D, C, D. Another verse like that one. Walk up. Now when you do that A minor 7, if you wanted to do one extra thing to it, you might go. You might throw that A note in there so you have the actual correct bass note to kind of go with, even though it's not the bassiest of notes right there. But if you hit that first, you can kind of make that A bassy note sort of happen and then switch to your A minor 7 chord. That'd be something just a little bit fancy to add. And if you like the D bass note string on that, you could try that too. Another verse like this. By then the drums have come in and everything. We'd have one more walk up. We'll go to a D here. Now we have this part that is before the solo comes up. So we're on this D. We ended with opens, and then we hold this D, and then we're gonna go. So that's just that thing where we have, first we do open down here on the bottom string. 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 3, 2. Then we're gonna hit this little C note to get this new chord started. This is gonna be 2, open, 1, and 2 on the bottom. And then we got this time. Let's see how I'm pulling that little 2 out. F major 7. So here goes our little chords that come before that solo. So we get from the could do a little riff there. 1 to open on the second string, 2 on the G string. So then we're gonna get into A minor, G, F, major 7. So kind of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then chopped up a little bit more on that F major 7. When we start singing, it kind of chops up like this. Of course, you could still play it down there, but it kind of makes it easier if you get these bar chords going. They all work together. And after a few times of that, you got that cool little riff there. 3, and then your ring finger slides 5 to 7, down to the 5 here, and then 7 slides to 9. Back to 7 and 5. So 3, 5 to 7, 5, 9, 7, 5. It does that about 4 times, and then hits that F major 7, that 3, 2, 1 open. It hits that a couple times. And then we're just back to that progression, kind of more of a mellow kind of feeling to it. Just does that 4 times. And you might end with some, this is kind of a cool chord, A minor 9. That'd be like 7 and 5, open and open. Or you could do one 7, 5, open and 5. Kind of a harder one. Something like that. They don't really end with the A minor chord on the album, but live I think they did. So okay, that is Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's see, we could go through a couple of things now. Let's look at the, this will be the advanced section of it here at the end. So this is where we can add these bass notes. Now when we go up to the 7 here, we're going to add this 6 on the big one. When we go up to the 8 here, we're going to make this 5s all the way. And when we come down here to make this a D, we're going to do this shape of a D where we have this F sharp in the bass. So that can be a tough one, but that's a good one to work on. You definitely want to know that one eventually, you know. And then we come down to this F major 7. Now if you want a little trick from the live version, so that was the 3s on the 3rd string and 1st string, slide into 5s, and back. And then we do a double hammer-on pull-off. That's open to 1 and open on the 1st string, and open to 2 to open on the 3rd string. Nice little Jimmy Pageism right there. So once again, that'd be... And the easy way would be that. But if you wanted the fancy way, and then remember in the beginning we had that one riff, and that actually happens 2 different times in the intro. You have to listen to it to get right where it's at. But then let's see, let's look at later on. You can get into that. That would be the fancier picking when he does after like the 3rd verse or so. It goes instrumental, and he gets that more kind of jumpy kind of thing going on there. Okay, and then we went to that G, and like I said, we could start with that little A if you wanted to, with the A minor 7 thing. You want to kind of pop it out of there quick though, like. That's not super important either. note just doesn't have that same, it doesn't have the same ring to it because it's not the right note, really. Like I say, on this part, up to you whether you want to do that D string with it. Kind of still sounds good. When I play it on guitar, I kind of mute that D so you hear the A string ringing with it. Clean would be that way, and adding that D still sounds cool. And then let's look at how the next verse come in. Right, I guess we could go back and talk about that first one, the first type of intro where we come to this walking thing. That's the C to D coming up. And then O, 1, 2. And then up the D, F major 7. So one more time on that. C, high note to the D, and the open 1, 2, little hammer on. Now C to the G, a little pull off to the D. C, high note to the D again, O, 1, 2, hammer on, and then straight up the D to F major 7, 3 times. Okay, and then when we get into that other part, we got the D thing. And then kind of a C with a 2 on the bottom. Same chord. Kind of switch to a G with that 2 on the bottom. You could throw in that if you want. Then we start the A minor. G, F major 7, which morphs into a bar chords thing. Which also has that riff. And eventually, and like I said, a little fancy chord if you want it to end. When you get to the very end, you're holding that out, and he says the by in the Stairway to Heaven line. You could always end it with a nice chord like that, or something like that. It'd be like 10, 9, 10, 12. All right, well, thanks a lot. Great song, of course. One of the greatest songs of all time. I think it's been voted several times, if not dozens or hundreds. But Stairway to Heaven by the incomparable Led Zeppelin and Jimmy Page on the great guitar parts. So thanks a lot. I'm Damon Wood. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. There will be a tab for this too, downloadable tab. Make sure you're checking out our downloadable tabs. We have them on almost all the songs now. So those can be very helpful. So thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.